So, as a part of our venture into so as we begin our journey towards the transformation that we're seeking here, we need support from a lot of different institutions. In earlier slides, we've talked about media, we've talked about the government representatives, we've talked about privately, individually, what we could be doing. In these couple of slides, let's talk about our religious institutions. Let's talk about our mosques, our pulpits, and what information they're giving out to the people who follow them. And Pakistan again being an Islamic state and being very conscious of the fact that we are Muslims and we abide by certain code of ethics and morality. That has to be a centerpiece of what we do and how we do it, right? But so within the confines, within the guidelines of that, we would like to propose a few recommendations. Let's see if you agree with those. We're trying to fix the world, of course, but let's start with ourselves. Let that be our first focus. For others, let's give them the guidance and let them figure out what they want to do. Again, we're not responsible for somebody else's action. We're only responsible for our own actions. Let's give them the guidance. Let's give them the support. Let's give them the information that they need to become a better human, a better person, a better citizen. But let's just leave it at that. Let them be responsible for what they do with the information that they have. And can we stop spreading hate? Let's instead spread tolerance and acceptance. Allah is the ultimate judge, not us. We said a moment ago in the first bullet point for let's give guidance to the other people, hopefully the right information that they need to figure out what options they might have in front of them, and hopefully they will pick the right option, the Surat al-Mustaqim, on their own accord. But whether they do it or not, it's not for us to judge. Allah is the ultimate judge, and let's just acknowledge the fact that we are not the judges. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us to spread peace on this earth. Again, adding to the point we just made earlier, let's not spread hate. Look inwards. Most of these points, as you can perhaps figure out by now, they're sort of very closely intertwined with each other. They are related, but they're separate bullet points because each bullet over here, it represents a different focal area. Look inwards rather than pointing fault with others. If we have failed, and if we have failed miserably, there's absolutely no doubt about that. If we have failed, it's a result of our own actions and not due to conspiracies of others. Yes, others may have conspired. Yes, others may have benefited. Yes, lots of things may have happened. Maybe other teams, other people, other groups, other countries may have done things differently, and the outcome may have been different. Absolutely, we're acknowledging that. But the point still remains that we have to focus on our own culpability as well. We have failed, it's our fault. The moment we start internalizing what challenges lie ahead of us and what missteps we have had in our past, we can then work on the corrective measures. But as long as we are looking at other people, the people who perpetuate all the negative upon us, then we'll just always remain the victims of somebody else's conspiracy. So let's get out of that mindset. Let's look inwards. Let's internalize the teachings of the religion as a code of life. Islam, Quran, our book, all the teachings that we have gone through, they all make us a better human, a better Muslim, a better member of the community of the society. That's a code of life. That's a code of life we must live by. Let's internalize them. So when I go to the mosque, that's the lecture I want to hear. That's what I want them to not just mention, but repeat and give me examples and give me areas where I'm potentially making mistakes and what I could do to improve them and improve not just myself, but everyone around me. That's got to be how we operate. Again, when we said in a different presentation about the media that they have power, please use it wisely. We can say the same thing with a much, much higher level of emphasis on our mosques. They have tremendous amount of power. They must use them wisely. There must be a message of inclusivity. and not a message of hate or exclusivity or my group versus other group, or my group, my version is right, my group is right, my vision is right, my version is right, my belief is right, and everybody else is wrong and hellbound. And that's not the way we should be operating. Message of inclusivity. Let's include them all in a wider group. Let's bring them all under the same umbrella. We're all creatures of the same creator. And as a part of this transformation, we're also going to propose that we create a think tank, a group that creates a group of starting off with 100, perhaps adding maybe several hundreds of the various topics and prepared speeches. Maybe use them for the Friday lectures. Maybe use them for the weekend get-together. Maybe use them as a starting point of the panel discussions on how you bring people together, what topics you take on, and how you create a dialogue between those. And focus, again, building on the previous point that we've just made earlier, focus on the principles of teaching and not on the rituals. Unfortunately, over time, and especially that's more relevant within the Indian Pakistan subcontinent, following the religion has become more ritualistic than it's been on the basic tenet of the teaching itself. There is a letter of the law and there's the intent of the law. When you start focusing on the letter of the law, then you are focusing on your interpretation of the letter of the law. And then you're able to find maybe some workaround, maybe some loopholes that allow you to deviate from the standard. But instead of that, if we focus on the intent of the law, we cannot. There's no room for us to deviate from that. So let's be reminded of that. How about this? These are not simple, not easy changes. They are obviously what we have today is decades, if not generations or centuries of having lived this way. Let's agree on what the new way looks like. Instead of instead of signing off for the rest of our lives, we'll abide by the new principles. It's a thought experiment. Let's just write out for a year. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we can stop spreading hate, if we can stop pointing our fingers at somebody else, if we can just look inwards, pointing at our own shortcomings and working on those. All of the bullet points that we are raising here. Let's see if it's possible for us to collectively, as people, as a society, to take on these, agree on these, and let's just agree on them for a year and see what happens. It's just an experiment, right? Let's just see what happens. All right, let's continue.